Your iPhone is a genuinely capable video camera, but most people are shooting with their settings that are either wrong or whatever Apple defaulted to. And those defaults are not optimized for making good videos. So today I'm going to walk you through 7 settings that actually matter. 3 of them you set up once and you never touch again. And 4 of them I think you should run through before every single shoot. If you want all 7 tips in a downloadable checklist, I have one pinned in the comments down below. Now, quick note before we start. Most of these settings work on any iPhone running a recent iOS version. Cinematic mode does require an iPhone 13 or newer, and action mode requires an iPhone 14 or newer, but everything else, you're covered regardless of what model you have. I'm doing this demo on my iPhone 17 Pro. So let's start with the 3 settings that you set once and you leave on forever. You'll find these in Settings, Camera, and Composition. Also, since I reference these camera settings all the time, I added them as a shortcut, and I'll show you how to do that later on in this video. So the first setting that I permanently enable is the grid. This puts a rule of thirds overlay, so you'll always have 2 vertical lines and 2 horizontal lines. You don't have to know anything fancy to use it, but just try placing your main subject on one of these lines or intersections, rather than at the dead center, and your framing will start to look more intentional and creative. Next, go right below the grid setting and turn on level. Now you're going to see a small horizontal indicator when your phone is perfectly straight. So this helps you avoid getting crooked footage, which can be seen as sloppy and it's pretty hard to fix after the fact without cropping into your video. Finally, scroll up just a little bit and enable Use Volume Up for Burst. Now you can press the physical volume up button on your phone to immediately take a photo or start and stop a video. This comes in really handy for taking selfies and shooting handheld with your phone. So those are the first 3 iPhone camera settings that I just set and forget. Pretty much never turn them off. Now before we move on to the next 4 settings, I want to show you a cool accessory that I have actually been using with my iPhone lately. This is the Casekoo Linkoo case, the proud sponsor of today's video. The case itself is crystal clear and UV resistant, so it won't get yellow over time. And it's also fully MagSafe compatible, so you can still charge wirelessly and snap on MagSafe accessories without removing it. But what makes the Linkoo case special is a one-piece metal buckle that's built directly into the frame. Most other lanyard cases make you pop in a separate insert pad and thread a cord through a hole, which I always find annoying because first, the insert can easily fall out, and second, it makes it really hard to fully access the USB-C port on the bottom of my phone. But the Linkoo case has it all integrated. And when you don't need it, it folds completely flat, so it never blocks the USB-C port and never gets in the way. Then you can just clip in whatever strap you want. This is the Linkoo lanyard, but it's also compatible with basically any wide strap that you already own, like the Apple crossbody strap, or even a bag strap or wrist strap. And you can also attach other accessories like keys. For me, this is huge because when I'm out shooting, I can be hands-free with my phone secure, but when I want to easily access it to use it, I can do that. If you're interested, check out the link in the description below. But now let's get back to those 4 remaining iPhone camera settings that you should check before you hit record every single time. Because these settings are really easy to change accidentally, or you might want to have different options depending on the shoot. So the first setting to check is HDR video. You can find this in Settings, Camera, Record Video. Now HDR looks great on your phone screen, but if you upload it to YouTube or another platform online, it often comes out looking washed out and flat, unless you do some extra processing to the footage. HDR can also make your colors and your overall footage look a little exaggerated and fake. Like, I never shoot HDR if I'm shooting a face, but I might leave it on when I'm shooting a landscape. So if you plan to upload directly from your phone or you want that HDR color effect, you can leave it on. But if you edit your footage on a computer or another device, shooting in standard color is more consistent and easier to work with when editing. Next, check your video resolution. Now, this can be changed either in the Settings, Camera, Record Video section, or within the camera app itself. At a minimum, shoot in 1080p. And if your storage and computer can handle it, 4K gives you more flexibility when it comes to editing, so you can reframe, crop, and stabilize without losing quality. Just know that 4K footage generates much larger files and can take up more space on your phone and slow down your overall workflow. Now, personally, I'll shoot in 4K when it's a pretty, once-in-a-lifetime travel scene or event, but I've started shooting in 1080p more often just because it takes up a lot less space on my phone, and honestly, I don't really see a big quality difference. Now, once you pick your resolution, choose your frame rate. Here's a really simplified explanation of what frame rate is. So 30 frames per second is your default for almost everything, like these talking head videos, vlogs, everyday shooting. 60 frames per second is for fast movement, and it gives you the option to slow down your footage in editing. While 120 frames per second is slow motion only, so only use that when you specifically want that slow-mo effect. Meanwhile, 24 frames per second gives footage a cinematic, film-like feel, but it works better for slower, more deliberate shots. So when in doubt, choose 1080p at 30 frames per second to start, or maybe choose 60 frames per second or 120 frames per second if you're filming fast action. Next, lock in your focus and exposure. So this happens within the camera app itself, but before you hit record, go to exposure and slide it so the EV is at -0.3 or -0.7. iPhones tend to overexpose, especially in bright conditions, so it helps to make your camera a little bit darker. Now, if you have a newer iPhone 16 or 17 that has that camera control button, you can also set it to change your exposure just by sliding your finger, which is convenient, but I also find that I accidentally end up bumping my exposure too high. So this is why exposure is a setting that I personally check every single time I use my camera app. Then tap on your subject to set focus. This is so important, and even I forget to do this on occasion, and I end up with a blurry phone video. So don't forget to do it. But then you want to tap and hold on your subject until you see the AEAF lock appear at the top of the screen. So this tells the camera to stop automatically readjusting while you record, so you don't see constant refocusing and exposure pulsing. The last setting to set is a decision rather than a toggle. So if you're going to be walking or moving while you film, turn on action mode if your phone has it. This provides strong electronic stabilization that helps to smooth out camera shake significantly. Though it does crop into the frame slightly, so do make sure that your subject is not getting cut off before you start moving. And that's why I would not have action mode on if I'm going to be shooting stationary. If you're doing that and you want a soft background blur, use cinematic mode. So it looks good, but the iPhone is making focus decisions automatically, and it doesn't always get them right, so you do have to keep an eye on focus throughout the shot. Cinematic mode requires an iPhone 13 or newer. Now, if neither applies, just shoot in standard video mode. Now, before we wrap up, here's a quick bonus that will save you time every single shoot. Instead of digging through your settings app every time you want to check your camera options, you can create a one-tap shortcut that opens your iPhone camera settings directly from your home screen. It takes about 60 seconds to set up. So open the Shortcuts app on your iPhone. It comes pre-installed, so you probably already have it. Tap the plus icon in the top right corner to create a new shortcut. Search for Open URLs and select it. And then paste this exactly. And then tap Done in the top right corner. And now to put it on your home screen, tap the share icon at the bottom of the screen and select Add to Home Screen. And name it whatever you want. I called mine Camera Settings. And then just tap Add. I also added mine to the Control Center so I can just swipe down and tap to get into my camera settings instantly. So those are all 7 settings. The first 3 are already done from your one-time setup, and the whole pre-shoot check takes about 60 seconds. The checklist for all 7 settings is pinned in the comments. It covers this video and also the upcoming companion video that covers the gear side of things, including lens cleaning, lighting, stability, and audio. So if this was useful, let me know in the comments down below and subscribe for more content. I post reviews and creator tips regularly here on Gemini Connect, and I will see you in the next one.